It was like 200 or something maybe, but it's too big of a leap.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh,
He's like 600 above. Well, no, he was 1,600. Really. Yeah, he's way too, it's too much. He's like 700 ahead.
It's only 98% of the early total expense.
And this time we fall back and.
Hey,
How you know 800 didn't go out today?
That's real. That would be too iffy. The whole week.
There's something.
I wanna recount.
Someone
Cheater.
I was all yelling over there and I got to the pub like when I took when I was
Starts right here, look. It starts right here.
Oh, up here.
Right here, then up here they start, they're halfway down, and that's when they start with number three. But we want everyone to have a copy of this, because it tells a true story about you and what you did and what you're doing. So you got to read it.
Yeah, that Lori's on herself the organization, you know, they was.
Here you go. Here, Max.
Oh, it's inside, it's on the editorial.
Yeah, the editorial section.
Yeah, it's in the editorial.
Here you go.
Thank you. Oh, you want one more?
Oh, and the prensa doesn't lie.
Oh,
These are facts.
she does.
Real facts. Here you go, Chris. The fact is, just because he's in there doesn't mean he's the right person.
Yeah.
But see what happened in presidential elections, he wasn't right either.
You're not about Pio.
You know, Metropolis is a high poverty area and should stay along now. Don't take away, you wanna add, we're recommending adding 3. Del Valley, and then one for the nonprofits and somebody from the county. So, and let the commissioners court appoint them. So we said, don't take away, add. Yeah, so that's kind of
hello. We're here today with La Prensa. We're here with Margaret Gomez. Could you tell me a little bit about this event and what brought you here today?
Well, the most important thing is that in order to protect East Austin and Metropolis, I think it's very important that someone who is familiar with the area, who has worked the area consistently, all of her adult life, and she's very familiar with the city council process. She's always there at the meeting. She does her homework, and she knows the issues. And above that, she advocates for East Austin families and Metropolis families. That's extremely important today with all the gentrification that is going on.
And can you tell me a little bit about what it is that you do in the community, or do you hold a seat with council, or?
Oh, I'm a county commissioner on the Traverse County Commissioner's Court. And this area and Metropolis are part of Precinct 4. So they are my constituents. And so for that reason, I care what happens to them.
Thank you so much. Is there anything you'd like to tell La Prensa?
Thanks for covering the issues over here in East Austin and Metropolis. It's very important to do that so that people will know what's going on instead of being a surprise to them about gentrification policies. And so those are very important. So thank you for being involved here.
people to learn how the political system works and gets them involved in the political system, and they never had done that before. That's a big victory, because that's what happened to me when I was young. Someone took me under their wing and said, hey, here's elections, you know, and this was running at the neighborhood level. This was people running at the neighborhood level for the First Street Neighborhood Center, deciding, you know, running just for like, they wanted more sidewalks, they wanted street lights, they wanted drainage. So, Isabel, can you turn that on? So, just working at those issues. And so, we were happy to have all of these different people come from the community and want to change. And they want a new direction. They want a new direction in District 3. And for me, that's a big victory when people come forward and they say, there's a lot of things happening bad in East Austin. And in District 3, not just East Austin. And they all wanted to be involved. And to me, that was very important. And I think the other aspect is that we had a lot of people power and people interest. We were outspent, 5-1. And for the first time, we had the mayor and city council members endorsing a city council member and raising money for them. That was precedent setting. That had never happened before. And so for the grassroots people to give them $10, $20, $30 and give their time because they wanted to see a change, to me that's a victory. It's not a loss. It's like, how do we move forward? How do we make sure that we continue with our fight to make Austin a better place and one where everyone is welcome? And where we're also looking at the most vulnerable population, the poor, the working poor, and the people who have been displaced. So for me, I count this still as a victory, because we're gonna go forward. Now I got new people that never been involved in different issues who I now can count on to move forward and bringing those changes and making sure that we set Councilman Renteria on a direction that represents people interests and not developers interests, because that was the main message that got out, was that Councilman Renteria was catering to developer interests and not people's interests. And I think he heard that loud and clear, and I feel like everybody's gonna move forward on that path to make sure that we keep him on a path where people's interest takes the front side and not the back. So, that's how I see it, and I'm really thankful to everybody here. Everybody really,
Happy to do it.
For us, if you look at the ones who worked hard for her, she is still a winner. To us, she is a winner.
Yes.
She's one of the biggest winners. She's never gonna be it's a winner.
Okay, put that minute away on there. On the right thing.
For Susana Almanza, we believe that she's the best candidate to represent our district. Before they were single member district, she always fought for the community, putting herself, above all, and it was good that she gets credit for what she deserves, for the hard work that she's put in for the community. She's always advocated for the people who didn't have a voice, for the elderly, for the young children. She's taught young women leadership skills. I mean, the list goes on of accomplishments that she's done. So we feel it's best to fight gentrification now, as we've seen school closings in our neighborhood. Generations of homes have been lost, and now we're down to, it's people don't recognize the old neighborhood we grew up in, and so she's always fought to maintain the cultural identity of our neighborhoods, and so that's why we're here tonight to to give her support and to lend her our vote as well, so that she can represent what's best for our community.
And are you a long time East Austinite, or?
Yes, ma'am. Born and raised.
Oh,
about
wow.
25 years.
How many generations does your family have in this neighborhood?
Three generations now. We're on the third generation. So we've seen our neighbors. We've been on the same street since I was maybe 6 years old. So I've seen the neighborhood grow. I've seen whole house has been sold, and it kind of changes the identity of the neighborhood, because when I grew up, you could count on your friends to be there. You kind of grew up around people, and now it's different in a way that now you don't know your neighbor like you used to know them, because it's just not the interactivity anymore. So now there's a cultural divide, and it makes it hard on everybody, because then, you kind of lose a sense of community or what binds you together. And then with the closing of the parks and this and that, it's kind of hard also to just kind of feel at home, where now you have a home, you have a house, but it's not really a home, a community feel anymore in East Austin. Now it's more one of, I guess, a suburban feel.
And the new people that are coming in, are they, I guess, friendly, would you say, or are they inclusive?
For the most part, some of them are not. They don't bring their kids in. They kind of exclude themselves from what's going on. And so it goes back to a cultural gap that we're having. That's every community is different. If you look at the districts, everyone is different. The makeup of them. And so here in District 3, it's, you know, this is where I grew up at, so I've seen a lot of changes along Cesar Chavez in the Gold Valley Terrace neighborhood, just different things that, like, I don't even recognize it, and this is a lifelong resident of Austin speaking. To where all change must happen, but it has to be a continual change where still you keep the identity of the neighborhood intact, so that the next generation grows up with what it's like to be you, instead of trying to be gentrified to where you have to be assimilated in order to fit in. And so that's the biggest reason why we're here.
So I guess the question is, why do we have to assimilate? Why aren't they assimilating to us?
They see us, you know, majority of the neighborhoods here are below the poverty line, and no one wants to assimilate into poverty. However, some of the best memories we have growing up were when we were poor. It's not the material things that you can provide, it's the family feel and atmosphere of love and support that makes the community whole. It's not what you have, it's, you know, what you do with it. And so when they come in with their $1 million homes, $500,000 homes, then they miss that aspect of it. It's all based upon material things. And so it drives up the taxes, and so the gentrification process starts. And by eliminating the education system, then it lessens our chances for success, because then where do we turn to go for education? When we had schools that were here, and now they're not, they're gone. So, I mean, just in my lifetime, my high school has been closed, my elementary has been closed, and the only one that's left now is Martin Junior High, where I went to, and that's the only one, you know. So it's kind of hard to say, you know, where do I turn to for my memories now that they're gone.
And is your family home still standing?
Yes, it is. It's still there, you know. It's been there for years, and, you know, we're not going to sell it. We're not going to sell it. You know, whatever they offer is not worth the value of what a home is really worth to us. It's more, you know, it's worth whatever, it's worth more than money at this point. It's about
Has
growing
it
up.
been hard to cover the taxes?
Yes, for my parents, because now they're both elderly and they're both retired. So, you know, the tax bills go up as the neighborhood continues to get gentrified. So, you know, as I said, we've seen some good things happen and some bad things. When Miss Almanza helped with the tank farm situation, you know, it's like our neighborhoods were getting better and better, and then they decided to move in. But when we were in the middle of all the struggles, no one was there to willing to help except for her. And so that's why we're here to support her tonight.
Thank you so much. And what was your name again?
Max Rangel.
Thank you, Mr. Ranjan.